All right, everyone. So, according to a new report, Netflix, when Raw goes there, there will be commercials. So, this is from Wrestle Talk. There reportedly will be commercials when WWE Raw moves to Netflix. They're citing WON. So, there will be commercials on Netflix as one of the reasons Netflix picked up Raw is because they are trying to add commercials to programming, and the Raw and pro wrestling audience is used to commercials on the shows. But they can adjust a lot differently than on regular television, such as when and how long the breaks are and not have the show to the second when it comes to that. So, okay, there's a few things here. Number one, this is a little disappointing, I will say, just based off the fact that it's one thing to say, hey, we're going to have commercials in the beginning of the show. And so people have to watch commercials to begin, or, if they click on it, there's a minute of commercials or a minute and a half of commercials or something like that. It's another thing to put them, I would say at least, just personally, in the middle of the show like you're watching it on TV. Now they talk about here the ability to kind of fluctuate with the commercial. So unlike on TV when it's like it has to, the TV you got to end at this time and start at this time. Now we get some variation here, right? So the commercials won't maybe impact as much, or they could put shorter amounts in, maybe they put a few more in, but they're shorter. They could do a bunch of different stuff to find out the best. So that is a better than what we had. But at the same time, it's like, okay, so we're all these big moves, right, to streaming and to other things, and yet it looks like they're going to just do the same thing that we're used to forever, right? There is not really any creative way that Netflix is going to make Raw, at least from what we understand, a better viewing experience. And I'll say this: if watching this live, Raw, if it's not as good as like watching it on the YouTube TV player, right? If it's more annoying, if it's similar to like watching stuff on Amazon Prime live or and other things, I think it's going to be a little bit upsetting, honestly. It's not that Amazon Prime stinks, but in terms of the live streaming, like when you watch Thursday Night Football, I don't think it lives up anywhere near as well, as like YouTube TV does per se. And so when you look at something like this, you really begin to go, okay, well, there's going to be some benefits, but are we also now going to have a worse viewing experience than we had previously? And I'm hoping the Netflix, move works because there are other benefits, and I'm hoping this ends up not being a big deal and they can still be creative. But they just really need to make sure that this is you know, creative new stuff that we're seeing. If they're going to make this big of a move, it has to be about more than just money. It has to be better for the viewer and the experience. So I hope that is what we get here. So thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next time.